From the University of Wisconsin Fieldhouse in Madison, it's the 1985 WIAA State High School Basketball Championships. Brought to you by the Rural Companies, ensuring the good life all over Wisconsin. John Deere and your local John Deere dealer, who invite you to stop by and see their complete line of lawn and garden products. Nothing runs like a Deere. Your cooperative and Land O'Lakes, where the farm-to-food system begins. And by the dairy farmers of Wisconsin, who remind you that milk is America's health kick.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Class C semifinal basketball. The first game today, you'll see the Glidden Black Bears 23-0 against the Fall Creek Cricket, coming in with a 24-1 record. I'm Jack Eichen on behalf of the WIAA. Welcome to morning basketball. Get some donuts and some orange juice and sit back and watch a couple Class C semifinal games. First game you're going to see should be a pretty good one. Fall Creek 24-1, the Clover Belt Conference champs. Glidden coming in unbeaten at 23-0, the Indian Head Conference champs. Fall Creek looking for a daily double. They are the defending Class C champs. And also just 1 week ago, their girls basketball team won the Class C title. We'll be talking to the coaches when we come back. But first, remember, one of your network sponsors, the Rural Companies, ensuring Wisconsin people in all walks of life.
You'll find Rural's policy owners all over Wisconsin.
Marsfield,
Janesville,
Sheboygan Falls,
Fond du Lac, Cobb, Neenah, Wausau,
Waukesha,
Millville, Highland, Independence, Two Rivers.
So for protection, look to the Rural Companies. You can have the world of television at your fingertips. Unlimited Satellite Systems can bring it to you affordably. They offer a complete line of satellite packages starting under $1,000. Proven experts in satellite dish sales and installation, with installation stretching from Nassau to the University of Wisconsin, Unlimited Satellite Systems offers you complete professional service. Let them come to you for a free in-home demonstration. Just call 222-3242 or visit Unlimited Satellite Systems, South Stoughton Road.
Can you believe it? John Lancaster is selling his Toyota vans and trucks at invoice again. Factory invoice. You pay the amount Lancaster has invoiced. That could save you hundreds off the sticker price. A two-wheel drive Toyota pickup for as low as $57.17. Come on out. Choose from over 30 pickups. How about Toyota cargo vans for $83.05? Come on out today. John Lancaster's invoice sale.
And welcome back to the field house. We're with Paul Augustine, the head coach at Glidden High School. Coach, you've got a couple twin towers at 6'7" and 6'5". That's kind of a nice luxury to have coming to a tournament.
We're very pleased they're on our side. They're both very good basketball players.
You run the ball up and down the floor, though?
We're going to press today. I don't know how well we'll do with it, but we've done it all season, and we're going to try it again today.
Okay, Coach, 23-0. We wish you the best of luck coming into this game.
Thanks, Jack. I appreciate it.
Okay. And now Ron Schultz, the head coach at Fall Creek High School. You can bring Ron in. Coach, congratulations on making it down here once again.
Thanks. It's a great feeling every year.
Third year in a row. Most of your players, your starters, have tournament experience?
They've been here 3 years in a row. One starter has been here 3 years in a row. We've only got one starter back from really our last year's championship team. So it's really new to them, except they've been here.
Well, congratulations on getting here, and we wish you a lot of luck. It must be nice to have the luxury of having the tournament experience.
Well, I hope it pays off. It does. Experience doesn't always pay, but hopefully it'll help out.
We'll find out. You've got a girls' Class C title to match.
All right, well, we're not trying to match anything. We're just going to play our own game, and we'll just do the best we can.
Okay, we wish you a lot of luck. Thanks very much, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
And we'll be back with some comments from our play-by-play man, Paul Brown, and his color man will be Paul Swanson, the head coach at Kohler High School. And remember, one of your network sponsors, John Deere, and your local John Deere dealer.
Nice lawn tractor, isn't it? Of course, my neighbor said to get a John Deere. They're built to last. They've got heavy-duty frames, heavy-duty engines, heavy-duty transmissions. But hey, I saved a bundle on this baby, and after all, that's the bottom line, huh? Not to worry. Once it starts, it runs like...
Nothing runs like a deer.
If you're considering buying a truck in Madison, there's only one way to go. John Lancaster Datsun. He'll save you money now with 8.8 financing on all Nissan trucks. 8.8 financing on tough Nissan 4x4. Save hundreds now. Hurry, it ends soon at John Lancaster Nissan.
Back at the UW Fieldhouse, along with Paul Swanson, the head coach of Kohler High School, I'm Paul Brown, and we're set to bring you the play-by-play action of the semifinal in Class C. Paul, you take a look at these two basketball teams. They've played 48 games between them, only one loss, which in itself is very impressive. You watch both teams work out. Where do you see the edge?
Well, right now you have a complete difference in the sizes of the teams. Fall Creek being a very small, quick team that still likes to get the ball inside, and Glidden being a big team but appears to have maybe better quickness than most of the big teams that we've seen come into the tournament. And, you know, if they can press and be effective, Glidden will be in good shape. Fall Creek might have a little too much quickness out on the full court for them.
And you talk about Fall Creek. Their only loss of the year was 50-44 to Spooner. And there again lies the height problem for Fall Creek.
Right. You know, they're going to have a real problem. They're going to have to deny the ball inside, and they play a pressure man-to-man. If they can push the ball out on the floor, they'll be in good shape and not let it get inside.
Well, as Jack Ike mentioned, welcome to morning basketball, and we're about set for the play-by-play. But right now, let's go to Don Cowan, the public address announcer, who will introduce you to the starting lineup.
Good morning, basketball fans. The starting lineup for the semifinal game, Class C, for Fall Creek at the forward. Number 32, Mark Coda. For Glidden, number 50, Lonnie Schott. At forward for Fall Creek, number 24, Kerry Reese. At forward for Glidden, number 52, Kevin Schmidt. At center for Fall Creek, number 22, John Whitwer. At center for Glidden, number 54, Jan Hartoilo. At the guard for Fall Creek, number 12, Dennis Decken. At guard for Glidden, number 20, Marty Kemp. At guard for Fall Creek, number 14, Dwayne Decken. And for Glidden, number 24, Tim Augustine.
And we're just about set for the play-by-play action to come up here. And Paul, you've been here winning championships in 82 and 83. Kohler also won one in 1981. There's nothing like it as far as the feeling, enthusiasm, especially I think when you're from a small school and you haven't come to Madison and played in the tournament in a while.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. There's no better time of year to get into basketball than right now. And to play in the tournament is just frosting on the cake. It's an experience the kids will never forget.
And you see the gentleman that will be officiating this basketball game, and we're at center court and ready for the jump ball to come up here. As Glidden, the Black Bears, 23-0, coached by Paul Augustine. Looking on, and Kartoibles with the tip, and Augustine tried to save it, but it's picked up by Reese. And we had play stopped away, and our first foul of the game is going to be called on Schmidt, number 52.
Schmidt. Foul on Schmidt. Common foul to Fall Creek out of bounds.
So that's the first foul of the basketball game. And with the basketball now, the Crickets of Fall Creek. And they will go to Reese. to Decken, back out to Reese. Two Deckens playing in this basketball game. And they have Mark Toda. And the shot from inside by Whitmer, and the rebound is pulled down, and Glidden will bring it back up court. It's a nothing-to-nothing game, Paul.
An important part there is they did get the ball inside, and that's going to be a key for them.
Try to go to Shuck inside, and it's stolen away. And with it is Toda. So both teams here looking for the first basket of the game. And it's taken away. Shuck with a nice play. Toda tipped it. And it's tipped off and controlled by Smith. Kevin Smith. And it's run across the top line by Augustine. Augustine and Kemp, the guard. And there's a shot. Whistle, and a foul is going to be called. And it's going against Glidden. And it's going to be called on Kartoibel.
Okay, you notice the position is established, and his momentum just carries him right into the defensive player.
So that's his second team foul. We don't have a basket yet in this game. Toda underneath, and another foul is going to be called. And going to the free throw line could be Reese, as he was fouled in the act of shooting. And Kemp picked up the personal foul, his first. And Paul, Glidden, 3 quick fouls here in this basketball game.
That could be a real factor. You notice on the press that Fall Creek got the ball right back to the middle and moved right down the floor and attacked the basket.
And Reese missing the first free throw opportunity. Or pardon me, Kemp missing the opportunity. And the next free throw is up, and it's good. So it's a 1-0 game now. Just underway from the UW Fieldhouse here. Now the Fall Creek Crickets are going to go with full court pressure. Augustine looking for help. He gives it to Kemp. Toda got it in, and the whistle. And they established what they wanted to do there, Paul.
Right, a 10-second call, and Fall Creek's giving them a lot of trouble with the pressure.
And a timeout has been called. It is Fall Creek leading Glidden 1-0. And one of our network sponsors is your cooperative and Land of Lakes. One to nothing the score. 6:41 remaining here in the first quarter. Decken off on the pass. The Reeds back out to Decken. The Decken brothers playing the guard spot. And that is Decken with the basketball, Dwayne and Dennis. And Dwayne down to the corner. Cross court on the pass. Comes to Reeds. Baseline to the right side. They try to go inside, and the shot is put up. But a traveling violation.
That's where your side's just causing a turnover in that particular instance.
6 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. I imagine they're trying to get the butterflies out, huh, Paul?
Well, you're going to have to feel out the game a little bit and find out defensively where you can get the ball from an offensive standpoint, what the defense is going to give you.
And Augustine, the son of the coach, Augustine losing control of the basketball. And Decken will recover it for Fall Creek. The Crickets 24-1 of the year. And Toda in the paint shot, and Kartoibel blocked it. And it's picked up nicely down there as Kemp picks up the loose ball, and Augustine will bring it across the timeline. There's that height advantage, huh?
Yeah, 2 times down the floor now, their height has gotten the ball back from them.
1-0 the score. Kemp going cross court. Chuck trying to work inside. Rolled it, rebound, up and in. The first field goal for Glidden, and it's a 2-1 game as Fall Creek now will bring it across Whitwer, baseline of the corner on the left side to Reeds. Reeds and Decken. Decken coming cross court. Toda down to the corner picking it up. Back to Decken. Working for the good shot. Reeds with the basketball. He's guarded by Augustine. We have 5 minutes, 7 seconds remaining. There's his shot put up. No good of the rebound to Shuck of Glidden, and they can extend their lead. It is Kartoibel along with Smith, Shuck, Kemp, and Augustine out on the court. Augustine with the basketball. They go to Shuck, and the give and go. Kartoibel's underneath. It's up and good. And he traveled with the basketball. No bucket, Paul.
They still are getting the ball to the inside people. You may get a travel earlier in the game, and they settle down, and that's going to be a real problem for Fall Creek in this game.
Yeah, it's a 2-1 game. Reeds tied up by Smith, but they give it to Toda. And Mark Toda will bring it across half court and set it up to Decken. Dennis Decken with the basketball, guarded by Kemp, comes cross court to Toda. And we have 4 minutes, 33 seconds remaining here. Reach back to Decken. He's going to fire from outside. Rebound, Karkoivel, up Glidden.
You notice right now they're getting one shot, and that's all they're getting at it. And they're playing good defense from the standpoint of Glidden.
And Augustine to Schuck. Schuck baseline jumper. And a whistle, and we're going to have a foul called underneath.
Now, Glidden's offense, you'll notice, okay, they're going back. Their offense is going to the forwards, the two big kids, and he gets a nice baseline drive and gets fouled in the body in that particular case.
And that was the first personal foul on Reed's first team foul as well. And at the line shooting is going to be Schuck. He has 2 points and the only field goal of this basketball game so far. Offensively, they are averaging 57 points per ball game and allowing 39.4. 23-0 on the year. And Schuck has a total of 4 points. And now they will go with full court pressure as the Crickets will try to set it up, and they bring it half court to Decken. Decken baseline, and the pass comes out of it set up. Whitworth back out to Decken. Dwayne Decken cross court on the pass to Reitz. Reitz back to Decken. It's a 4-1 basketball game here, Class C semifinal. And it goes baseline, and trying to set it up is Reitz. Reitz back to Dakota as they move the ball very well. Trying to go inside. There's a fadeaway jumper, and it's good by Reitz.
The size, again, gave Fall Creek problems, but they were able to get the shot off, and it's, it's very close. It was a nice shot, and they may have some problems there yet.
And it's a 4-3 game. Karkoivel baseline. There's that inside move, and they get the bucket from the big man. That's his first 2 points of the basketball game. We have a whistle and a foul called. And it's going to be called on number 24.
Now this, okay, you're in the middle. They go for the trap, and instead of moving the feet, they get the hand in there. And the fouls could become a problem because you're getting in a bonus situation here.
4 team fouls for Glidden at this point. 4 different players with 1 foul each. And there's another foul being called inside, and it's against Karkoivel's, his second, and the team 5th foul.
Foul is on number 54, Karkoivel.
From a coaching standpoint, this is kind of dangerous because you've got to play 11 minutes of the first half now in the bonus, and Fall Creek traditionally has been a very, very good free throw shooting team in the tournaments.
And you've heard about their very impressive record of state tournament appearances. And the free throw is up, and it's good by Whitworth. He's 1 for 1 from the line. As a team, they are 2 of 3 right now. And it's a 6-4 game. As Glidden is out in front, and the next one is no good. So now it is the Black Bears who will set it up. And Augustine and Kemp at the guards. It is Smith and Schuck at the forward spot, and Karkoivel in the pivot. That's Kemp with the basketball. Kemp tried to go baseline, and another turnover, and the Crickets come back in a hurry. Reith with the basketball to Decken. Dennis Decken, now looking for the man, goes back on the pass. And we have a 6-4 game. There's a shot, and it's pulled down, and here's a break to Kemp, and the pass from Schuck, and it's no good. And let's go back the other way on the break. Whitworth misses it, and Karkoivel's with the shot. Back and forth, and missed opportunities there, Paul.
Both instances, it just appears a little tight on the layups, and that'll settle down a little bit here for the Crickets.
Karkoivel getting up the basketball. Dennis Decken. He's guarded by Kemp. He shot over him, and he traveled with the ball. Dennis Decken on the turnover.
It's a good call by the official. It's just a little stutter step there to gain his control after coming down the court hard.
So it's a 6-4 game with 2:05 remaining here in the first quarter. It's Ron Schultz looking on. He has been the coach there for 21 years. And he's fifth to the tournament. They are the defending state champions. Augustine cross court. Schultz baseline to Schuck. And the rebound tipped by Kemp. Can he save it? Yes, he does. All alone underneath. Nice play, and the basket by Smith. Balanced scoring so far here. Whistling will have a foul called as reaching in was Reitz. And we have 138 on the pushing off foul. It's on number 50, pardon me, Schuck.
from a coaching area, that's probably the least favorable place to foul anybody is when you're 60 feet away from the basket. And, you know, they've got to really be sure of those passes, especially with the foul situation early in the game.
Reitz is 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He has a total of 3 points in the game. He's now 2 for 3 from the free throw line. He has a season average. He has 8.4. Second one is no good. So he's 2 of 4 from the line, and it's an 8-5 game now. Glidden out in front here. 1:30 remaining in the first half. Kartoivel, and he has a total of 4 points.
You'll notice that the Glidden guards are doing a good job of okay, watch the pass coming in, going to the outside hand of Kartoivel's and away from the defensive player, and that really helps set up the play in the inside move.
And he also got a foul, and that is against Dennis Decken, and he can make it a 3-point play, but he missed on the opportunity. And it's a 10-5 game with 1:17 remaining here in the first quarter. Class C semifinal game. Reitz to Decken. Decken coming back to Reitz. He faked his shot, went to Decken baseline, and it rolls in for his first 2 of the game.
Now you notice that's the first time they've got an open corner shot because Kartoivel's turned when they faked that shot, and he had gone to the basket already, and that's what opened it up for him.
At a 10-7 game with 51 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Augustine is guarded by Decken, trying to work it inside. Turn around, shot, and it's up and good by Schuck. He has a total of 4 points now, and it's 12-7. Spotted anything early in the game here, Paul, that you think is pertinent at this particular time?
Well, I think one thing, Glidden has played this 1-2-2 zone, and they have covered the corners with their big kids, and they've taken away, I think, some of Fall Creek's offense with their corner shooters. They've only gotten one really good shot, and they're trying to shoot over 6'5" and 6'7" kids, and they've covered up the inside very well.
And Reitz will fire from outside. It brings out of the rebound to Schmidt. Glidden, they look at the clock, 4 seconds remaining. They go to Schuck. He tries to go to Kartoivel. Back outside, and it will not count. And at the end of the quarter, it's 12-7 Glidden. And one of your network sponsors is the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin. And we're ready for the second quarter to get underway as you look at Glidden's record, and an unblemished mark right there at 23-0 for the Black Bears, 12-7. First quarter score. Kartoivel's with the tip, but it's controlled. And there's Coda. Shot no good of the rebound to Kartoivel.
Again, you know, I think it's just the size factor, knowing that they're in there, is causing some problems for Fall Creek. They just got to go in and shoot the ball, and with the idea that if it gets blocked, it gets blocked.
And Kemp hits for 2. And his first 2 of the game, and it's 14-7 now. And saving it from going out of bounds. Whitmer driving in. No basket. Bradley is coming off.
A little anxious. First, you know, the pass inbounds, they were lucky to get that, and then came down and couldn't get the wingman open and left the floor. And that can create some problems.
7 minutes, 26 seconds remaining in the first half. Right now, it's 14-7. Decken is guarding Augustine. Nice play there by Decken as he took it away, Paul.
Yeah, quick hands. They're playing that man-to-man, and they're getting in the passing lanes real well. The only problem they're having is that Glidden's able to go over it.
Wayne Decken as they go around to the far side to set it up now with 7:04 remaining, and a Coda shot is blocked by Kartoivel.
Yeah, Coda works hard. He's just going to have some problems with that size in there.
Well, you take a look at it. Coda is about 5'10", and Kartoivel's at the big man in the middle, around 6'7", and there's that height advantage, but he overplayed it that time, and Dennis Decken gets the rebound. He'll quickly bring it across the timeline. He's guarded by Kemp, goes to Dwayne Decken as they set it up now. In a 14-7 game, Reitz. And there's a nice move inside of the roll for Whitworth. Whitworth getting the basket. And a foul called, and the basket's going to count.
You notice he gets his body in between them here, and neither of the big kids is able to go up at that particular point. It's a good quick move inside.
And Whitwer will go to the free throw line with an opportunity here for the three-point play. And he can cut the lead, and it rims out. Kartoivel tipped it, and Augustine with a rebound. Driving down, and we have a foul called underneath with 6:19 remaining here in the first half. 22 picking up the foul.
Shook does a good job. You take a look. He sees the opening, and he's even with the man, so he takes the ball to the basket. It's a very, very good decision at that point.
And Chuck will go to the free throw line. He's 2 for 2. He has a total of 6 points in the basketball game so far. 6 minutes, 19 seconds remaining here in the first half. And it's good, 3 for 3 from the line. Lonnie Shuck, 6'5", 210-pound senior. Next one is up, and that is good also. 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Now the Crickets are pressured here by Glidden, but they bring it across with Coda. Go to the free throw line. Tough up shot. Rebound is controlled by Smith, and he'll give it to Augustine.
That's a shot they've got to take, because you see Glidden didn't get a chance to set their defense up, and he didn't make it. You know, but I'm sure just looking at it, you know, he's made that shot a lot this year.
And a turnover right there, Paul.
Again, you see the sagging defense in the hands in the passing lane, and that's what they're going to have to live with today, and they're going to have to really make that go.
16-9 the score, 5:45 remaining here in the first half. Coda to Decken, Dennis Decken, and Dwayne, 12 and 14. Dwayne is 14, Dennis 12. As you take a look at your screen there. And the Crickets on the year, 24 and 1. Right now they're down 16-9 here in the basketball game. And they go baseline to Coda. Nice move inside, and it will count. We'll get the official call from the signal of the official as 5-0 picked up the foul. That's on Schmidt.
Now watch, they stand there. They, you know, in that case, Kartoivel probably should have gone down and taken the block away from him right away. And if they're going to get anything inside for Fall Creek, it's going to be on those quickness moves.
And the basket did count, so there's a three-point play. And it's now 16-12, and the lead is cut to 4 points. And it's taken away by Coda, and traveling is going to be called. But you can't fault the effort, can you, Paul?
No, you can't. In that case, he went down. If he had passed the ball off, they would not have called the travel. But if you go to get back up, they will call the travel. It's just an automatic call now.
So it's a 16-12 game, or a 4-point lead here. And the Crickets are going to pick him up. Augustine is guarded by Coda, but he gets it to Kemp, who will bring it across the timeline. They go baseline. There's a nice play in the basket by Chuck.
Good job using the big kids. They got the ball back to the middle and hit the open man.
And again, full court pressure going the other way. Taken away by Kemp from behind. Kartoivel picked up the loose ball.
Both teams right now putting in a good full court effort, you know, and causing some problems for each other.
So it's a 18-12 game now. There's the shot, and it's good by Smith.
One thing you'll notice Glidden's doing, they're using all their players offensively, so you can't just sag off and play the two kids inside.
Ming's shot is partially deflected, and Kartoivel with the rebound. Ming has come into the basketball game. Joe Ming, he's only a junior at 6'4". And it's a 20-12 game with 4:18 remaining in the first half. Here from the UW Fieldhouse, Augustine, a fadeaway jumper, good roll, and the basket by Chuck.
You got.
And a timeout is called, 22-12. And one of our network sponsors is the Rural Companies, with an agent near you. (24-1) on the year. The only loss to Spooner, but right now they're down 22-12 in the basketball game, as Glidden has 12 points from Chuck, and they have a good effort going from the entire team. But Fall Creek is the defending Class C champion, and don't sell him short here, Paul.
Oh, no. Some of the shots they've taken so far on this are things that, for the year, have been very good shots for them, and I'm sure they're going to come around here during the game.
Whitwer going cross court. Dakota back to Decken. Dakota, a 10-point lead, 3:35 remaining here in the first half. Dakota again cross court. Dennis Decken. Rebound to Wayne Decken. Foul is going to be called underneath on Chuck, his third.
This could be a real critical point for Glidden. And again, watch the positioning and the Fall Creek player. It's a long rebound, and you know it's a body foul, and for Glidden it could be a critical situation.
Well, he has 3 personal fouls, and as we mentioned, 12 of the team points. And the lead remains at 10 as Augustine will bring it up court. Tim Augustine is a junior. And Augustine out on the court now with Chuck. Along with Schmidt, that is Chuck. And he'll get 2 more. And he's got 14 points in this, the first Class C semifinal game. King Dakota has Fall Creek now, down by a total of 14 points. They go to Decken baseline. He's garnered 5 shots. Smith will come out and pick up Dakota to Decken. Whitwer in the corner fires, no good of a rebound. Off the body of Smith out of bounds.
Now, Chuck's got to be careful in this situation with 2:40 to go in the half, coming out real hard on those corner shooters right now.
24-12. Decken looks inside. Whitwer had a foul call, and it's going to go against Karkoivel, and that would be his 3rd personal.
You know, watch, good movement. They throw it away from the kid, and now he takes it right into him, and there's a body foul in there. And this presents a problem for Glidden, and I think you'll see Fall Creek keep pounding the ball inside and trying to attack that.
Boy, 2 young men with 3 personal fouls at this point of the game, Paul. And the free throw is up, and it's good by Whitwer.
And they're still in the game. And, you know, this could be a critical point for them. You know, they may have to change some of the aggressiveness that they can put on defensively for the last couple minutes of the first half.
And that free throw is up and good by Whitwer also. It's now 24-14, Fall Creek. Augustine still looking for the outlet on the pass. Comes to Kemp across the timeline. Kemp to Karkoivel. Back to Augustine. He'll take the jumper. Rebound. Augustine had it tipped away. Way there by Whitwer. And a foul call in the backcourt.
And this is on Chuck again, and this is his 4th personal foul. And take a look. What gets the ball here is Fall Creek is really scrapping for the ball. And they bring the ball right back into him on a turn. And, you know, there's points in the game where you just have to give that up as a defensive player and play containment instead of being quite as aggressive.
Mike Pancraft will come into the basketball game. He is 6 feet tall, about 155 pounds for Pancraft. 2:19 remaining. The free throw is up, and it's good by Decken. That's his first opportunity at the line. Next one is up, and it's good also. It's now 24-16. Battling back here, Paul.
Well, look at the averages. Fall Creek isn't putting 68 points on the board a game by accident, you know, and they're going to keep this pressure up, and they're going to keep this type of thing going. And
Glidden just turned over the basketball right there. Got a substitution coming into the game. Reach is going to come back in for the Crickets. So it's 24-16 right now, and Glidden with full court pressure here. And Reach, looking for the outlet on the pass, goes to Dwayne Decken. Whitwer cross court to Decken, and he traveled with a basketball.
That situation where, you know, a power move, I think he just got his feet tangled up a little bit and slid one of them over, and they got the call on it.
Kemp is guarded by Coda. To Augustine, back to Kemp. And 1:56 remaining in the first half here. 24-16 the score. As Glidden is out in front, the Black Bears, another turnover. That's again, 2 in a row, Paul.
Right, a hand in the passing lane. See how effective that is.
And Decken baseline shot. rolled out of the rebound. Is controlled by Augustine.
Still attacking the basket. And you just got to believe it. You know, those kids believe they're going to fall, and, you know, they're going to keep going.
And Kartoivel's traveled for the ball. 3 consecutive turnovers on 3 opportunities.
I think right now the tempo of the game is getting into Fall Creek's favor, and I think that's what Glidden's got to watch out for, that they don't fall into that, because they're going to Fall Creek's going to keep coming at Glidden.
And putting up the shot was Reitz, and they give the basketball to Glidden.
They made a 3-second call, and I'm not sure who was in the lane 3 seconds there.
And it's tipped away, and it goes out into the crowd here. So we've got another substitution coming into the game. Newberger is going to come in now.
One thing you can appreciate from our coaching standpoint is Fall Creek's playing such heavy pressure on a zone press, and then they're converting back to man without losing anybody. And that's a difficult thing to do.
1 minute 19 seconds remaining in the first half. It's 24-16 Glidden. And Glidden with the basketball. The Black Bears have turned it over. That's Augustine. And a nice basket there, and a good basketball.
That's a basket they really needed. They need to get some momentum back offensively.
And the lead is back to 10 now, as Whitwer will give it to Dennis Decken. And they go off on the pass to Reitz. Reitz will come back to Decken, cross court. As Fall Creek is down by a total of 10 points with 48 seconds remaining in the first half. The Reitz baseline, he's guarded by Dick, going cross court to Decken. Decken guarded by Augustine. Decken back out on top to Coda. Coda in the lane. Pass. Nice left-handed shot up by Whitwer. No good. And the follow shot is up. And it is good on a good effort by Reitz.
That may be one of the first offensive rebounds they've been able to convert into points in this game.
26 now to 18. The lead is cut to 8, and we're down to 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Tapped out of bounds as it goes off the hands of Augustine. Fall Creek Crickets now have battled back here. They're down only by 8 points. And there's Kartoivel, and he is capped on the arm right there by Whitwer. And a foul is going to be called on him.
Foul is on number 20.
Again, on the inbound situation, Whitwer gets caught behind just a little bit, and that's a real split-second decision. You know, maybe he just let him have it in that instance, and he came up around and caught him on the arm.
5 team fouls on Glidden, 4 on Fall Creek. With 17 seconds, Kartoivel tried to move it to the lane. Decken took it out of his hand. And another turnover.
Again, ball's going down to the floor, and, you know, the smaller kids can get at the ball down there.
Coda goes in the corner to Dwayne Decken. They're looking at the clock. Dennis will fire. It rolls out of the first half. Comes to an end. And it's Glidden leading Fall Creek 26-18. And one of our network sponsors is your cooperative and Land of Lake. Back at the UW Fieldhouse in this Class C semifinal game. There you see the score. Glidden leading Fall Creek 26-18. And you take a look at Glidden. Ball their big gun, of course, Lonnie Shuck. And Lonnie has a total of 14 points unofficially here in the first half.
Yes, he does. He's done a nice job offensively. They've got a problem with his foul situation, obviously, and he's only got 1 to go for the last 16 minutes of the game. And, you know, that could prove to be a big factor.
And you take a look at Fall Creek scoring. That's pretty balanced, really. Nobody standing out there with a lot of points.
Yes, but you notice towards the end of the second quarter, they've started to get the ball inside. And I think that's a real critical issue, because if you can attack big kids inside, the more the ball's in there, the more chance you have of establishing a foul situation. And I don't think they've just gone in there to do that. I think they do that on a continuous basis all year. And you're talking to Ron Schultz, that's where they want to put the ball, and now it's starting to pay off.
Okay, it's 26-18, our halftime score. We hope you're enjoying the telecast. And one of your network sponsors is the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin.
And we're back at the Fieldhouse. It is halftime in the game between Glidden and Fall Creek, a Class C semifinal game. Glidden on top 26-18. With me now is Jim Nedelkoff, the head coach at Southwestern. You ran into a buzzsaw in Fall Creek in the sectionals.
Well, I tell you, in the third quarter, about the middle of the third quarter, everything they threw up went in. And they're a quick ball club, and I look for them to come back.
Now, this game, when they've got some 6'7" and 6'5" guys to contend with, how would you approach it?
Well, I think they're doing what you got to do. You got to go at them. And, you know, Fall Creek's going at them, and they've got the big kids in foul trouble right now. although I'm a little bit surprised that Glidden's press has affected Fall Creek a little bit.
Fall Creek did take it inside, got their guys in foul trouble. Was that the idea, get those guys in some trouble so they have to sit?
I think so, because Fall Creek's not hitting from the outside. And so they're kicking it in, and then once in a while they're kicking it back out, and they're going at them. And, you know, they got a lot of basketball savvy.
Fall Creek known for outside shooting. Will that come around, do you think?
Well, it's Dennis Dickin and it's Mark Cota. When they get hot, you know, they're hot. And they're having a little trouble tonight, maybe because they got a hand in their face.
Did it look like the refs were keeping it tight on inside with their big guys?
Yeah, it does. And also, you know, Fall Creek's a running ball club, and there's been a few traveling calls called out there, and I think it's making it a little tentative.
Now, Glidden seemed content with pushing it inside to their big guys and not working the perimeter.
Well, when you got two big kids like that, why, I guess that's what you got to do. But Fall Creek does give good weak side help, and, you know, a couple of times they've snipped the ball, and it's going to be interesting.
What will the strategy be for Glidden now? One guy, their big guy, Kertoivels, has 4 fouls, Schock has 3 fouls. What will their strategy be if they lose both those guys?
Well, I have never seen Glidden play, but it looks to me like they're the key to their ball club.
Yeah. Now, both teams seem as if they like running the ball up and down the court. That's kind of surprising when you have a couple towers like that.
Yeah, that's true, but they can get the ball off the boards, you know, and that's the key to the running game. Get the ball off the boards and get it to the outside and go, and they've got those credentials.
Did you notice Fall Creek's tournament experience paying off when you guys played them?
Yes, they've got a lot of basketball tradition, and we had a good game for 2.5 quarters, and then we got tired, but, you know, they're a good ball club, they're well coached, and they've got a lot of savvy.
How about your ball club? Shall we see you here in a year?
Well, we hope so. That's always a dream, you know.
Okay, Coach, we hope we do see you here next year.
Well, thanks a lot, Jack.
Okay, thank you very much. And we'll be back with more tournament play. We'll review some of the stats and check out some comments. One of your network sponsors is your John Deere and your local John Deere dealer.
Back at the UW Fieldhouse along with Paul Swanson, the head basketball coach at Kohler High School. I'm Paul Brown, and we hope you're enjoying your breakfast basketball here on a Friday morning in the Class C semifinals at the half here. Glidden leading Fall Creek by a score of 26-18. And taking a look at some of the individual stats, Chuck is the leading scorer in this basketball game. He has a total of 14 points. But, Paul, what do you see there in team statistics?
Well, the field goal shooting is very apparent with Fall Creek, the 5 for 21, and the place who had a problem early in the game was inside. They're only shooting 24% for the game, and I think you'll see some of their outside game warm up. Mark Cota has not been a factor offensively yet, and he has, you know, carried them in many of their games this year. And, you know, he's a player that could make a big difference for them in the second half.
26-18, the halftime lead. Taking a look at some of the individual statistics, we mentioned Schuck with a total of 14 points. Schmidt has a total of 4. Kartoivels with a total of 4. But there's a foul problem situation there with Schuck and Kartoivels. Kartoivels has 3 according to our stats, and Schuck with 4.
Yes, it is, and most of them have come when Fall Creek's been able to get the ball inside, and then they've made a quick move inside, and they're going to have to adjust to that.
Reitz with a total of 6 points. Whitwer with a total of 5. 4 for Dwayne Decken, and 3 for Cota so far in this basketball game. But there's a lot more action yet to come, and don't forget we'll have 2 more sessions today, this afternoon, and again tonight at 7 o'clock, the championships tomorrow at 1, and we'll have all the action right here on the WIAA network. And one of our network sponsors is the Rural Companies, with over 50 offices in Wisconsin to serve you. And back at the UW Fieldhouse, we're ready for the second half to get underway between Fall Creek and the Black Bears of Glidden. They are 23-0 on the year. And in the second game this morning, Iola Scandinavia, 22-2, will take on Oakfield. They are 17-6. Paul, would you continue, if you were Fall Creek, to go inside against Schuck and Kartoivels?
Definitely. I'd take the ball in there whether they were there or not. It's a philosophy. I think Ron Schultz feels the same way. You've got to attack the inside. Statistically, take a look at that. 73% shooting by Glidden and 24 by Fall Creek, so they can feel pretty happy being where they're at right now.
And Kartoivels will trump against Whitwer. About a 5-inch mismatch. And the tip is controlled by Glidden. Kemp trying to go in the lane, and he's going to be tied up. Decken and Kemp will go to the circle for the jump ball with 7:55 remaining here in the third quarter. 26-18, and the tip is controlled by Kartoivo. And they set it up now. They have the lead, 26-18. Augustine baseline, whistle, and we have a foul called, and it's whistled against Whitwer. That's his third personal.
Take a look, he beats the man, he beats Decken, gets in there, and a hand gets in there and hits him on the arm.
Correction, it was on Decken, who has the basketball, driving the length of the floor, and he gets the bucket right there.
It's a good basket for Fall Creek off their transition, and their defense actually set up that basket.
26-20 as we're underway here in the second half. 7 minutes, 27 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. As Kemp is guarded by Dennis Decken. Almost left away, reaching in, and he fouled him. Dennis Decken, second personal foul.
Foul is on number 12.
On the common foul, it will be thrown inbounds on the far side. Second team foul on Fall Creek here in the second half. Glidden has yet to pick up a team foul here in this half. Augustine, Kemp, Kartoibles, all alone underneath, out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Cricket.
You notice Glidden keeps putting the ball in on that side, and Kartoibles comes sliding across that baseline real hard. Don't be surprised to see the Fall Creek kids jump in and look for that charge pretty quick.
Coda in the lane, rebound, and it's picked off by Kemp. Off Glidden, the Black Bears. Both of these basketball teams having great seasons. 23-0 for Glidden, 24-1 for Fall Creek. Kemp, turnaround jumper off the side of the rim by Shuck. And a whistle and a foul called. And are they pointing at Kartoivel? That would be his fourth.
Okay, again, take a look. He tries to tip it out. You've got good position in there, and he actually gets the foul situation once he gets the ball out of there. Now, you've only got 2 fouls between your 2 big kids for the remainder of the game.
Kartoivels with 4 and Shuck with 4. And now it's Fall Creek with an opportunity to cut the deficit to 4 points. In the corner, shot is up. And it's good by Coda. And it's a 4-point game, and Decken at the free throw line. As Glidden looks a little rattled here, Paul, in the second half.
Yes, they do. And you notice Mark Coda got right into the offense, and that could really be a big factor here for Fall Creek.
And a Reach with a basketball going to Decken. Decken back to Reach. Cross court to Coda. Number 32, that's who Paul is talking about. Mark Coda. He's been here 3 straight times with Fall Creek. And it goes to Decken as they set it up to Coda. Cross court to Dennis Decken. To Reach on the baseline against Kartoivel. And he has to be very careful. Coda Chuck inside. And in the lane, his shot is up and good by Whitmer.
Now, you notice that time Shook could not go up in the air, and that's going to open the inside game up for Fall Creek.
And it's 26-24 now as Glidden with a slim 2-point lead. And they go on the pass to Shuck. Shuck, Kartoivels are in the basketball game, both playing with 4 fouls here. 5 minutes, 28 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Augustine against Decken. Rebound, Kartoivels tipped out of bounds, and it's going to be controlled by Glidden. Boy, Fall Creek has battled back very nicely here, Paul.
Yes, they have. They're good defense, and they showed good offensive patience last time. It would be a factor to get them, in a very competitive situation here.
Smith putting up his shot, whistle, and a foul called, and let's see who it's on. Number 52, Smith picking up the foul. That's his third.
Foul is on number 32.
Pardon me, on number 32.
Actually, it's on 32. It's on Coda. And take a look inside, and Smith gets the ball. Coda comes in from the side on the arm. That's a nice power move by Kartoivels. He takes the ball and doesn't put it on the floor and doesn't bring it down. And that's a real key for big kids, not to put it down where the defense can get their hands on it. 28-24 now. He has a total of 7 points in the basketball game. That is a 4-point lead with 4:56 remaining here in the third quarter.
Class C semifinal. We hope you're enjoying it. 4:50 remaining. And Dennis Decken, Dakota, to reach, back to in the lane. Dwayne Decken rolls out, hit one. And the official there in our way as we get a look at the call. Smith picking up the personal foul.
Foul is on number 52.
Hey, the skip pass across court and taking it right to the basket. You'll notice that they use that quick explosion to the basket, and they don't put it on the floor and mess around with it.
Kevin Schmidt will come out of the game, and Mike Pancratz will go in. He's a junior. But at the line is Dwayne Decken, 78% free thrower, and he misses on that opportunity right there. 28-24, 4:39 remaining here in the third quarter. And the next one is up, and that is good by Decken. He's got 3 free throws. And it's now a 28-25 game. As it's brought across court by Schuck, who will give it to Augustine. Augustine back to Schuck. They try to go to Kartoibels, and a foul is called on Dwayne Decken.
Now again, we got the same situation as the first half, except now Fall Creek is close to getting in, putting Glidden in the bonus situation.
That is his second personal foul, and it will be inbounds by Augustine. As now Glidden with a slim 3-point lead here. Augustine, and there's a shot. No good, and the rebound is pulled down. Schuck had taken it, but it's cleared by the Crickets on the break. To Decken, and the layup is good by Dwayne Decken.
Good court awareness on that outlet pass and went 3/4 of the court with it and got a layup because Schuck cannot challenge that shot at this point.
28-27, and the Crickets have battled back here. And a whistle and a foul is going to be called. As Paul Augustine, the coach, looked out of disbelief earlier when they hadn't called one. But the foul was on 14, and you'll get a look at the foul right now, the third foul for Decken.
Yes, they get at that screen out on the wing, and they've got to start calling those out, or they're going to pick them off on those things and put them at the free throw line.
And going to the free throw line is going to be Kemp to shoot here. Glidden's lead is 28-27. And the free throw, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Cota. And Fall Creek could take the lead as they have battled back. At one point, they were down by 10. Cota faking and the shot. Cota trying to pick up the rebound, and it is drawn loose as the Crickets hold it in. Reach with the basketball to Cota. They have Fensky in now as well, too. That is Dennis Decken. Off to Fensky, number 20. They have 3 minutes, 26 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Fensky, as they look for the good opportunity here, going cross court over to Dennis Decken. Back on the left side, they go to Reitz. Reitz back to Fensky. Looked like he was going to take the shot. Decided not to do it. 1-point lead here, Paul.
You notice that they're taking very, very good offensive patience, and they set up their outside jumper. It's also helping Glidden in a way because their kids aren't getting in any more foul trouble at that point.
And Cota with a total of 4 now. 2 field goals in the basketball game and a foul called on Fensky.
And now you've got the bonus situation. If Glidden can take advantage of that, it could help carry them through the foul crisis that they're in right now.
And going to the free throw line is going to be Marty Kemp. He's a junior. 29-28. Fall Creek out in front. And Kemp can tie it up here. And the free throw's up. And it's good. Tied at 29. Glidden can go back out in front. And they do. And we have a timeout. It's 30-29. Out in front is Glidden. And one of our network sponsors is your cooperative and Land of the Lakes. Back at the UW field now. 2:52 remaining in the third quarter. And it's 30-29. Glidden is out in front. And Fall Creek will get the basketball, and Cota inbounds to Dennis Decken. Double team, but they clear it up to half court. Cota all the way. Nice play.
Kartoivos cannot go up and really challenge that shot in the foul situation. And, Coda's a very smart player, knows that, and takes the ball right in on him.
31-30. Again, Glidden playing, they have foul trouble here. They have whistle a foul called on 50, Chuck, and he's gone. Chuck fouls out of the basketball game. He had a total of 14 points in the first half ball. And
again, a critical situation. Now watch. You've got two players, and it just happens the Fall Creek player gets there first. And his momentum, he just can't stop that quick.
14 points in the first half, none in the second half, and he's fouled out.
They're going to miss him a lot, especially on the boards, and he plays good defense, despite the points.
Kartoivos also playing with 4 fouls here. Bensky will set it up for Fall Creek, who's open. And he has his first 2 points of the game. And it's now 33-30. Fall Creek has stretched their lead to 3 points. Kartoivos off to Kemp. Kemp back to Augustine. Back to Kartoivos. Underneath Kartoivos. And the whistle at a foul is going to be called. And it should be a 1-and-1, I believe, as we get a look at the foul inside called against Dennis Decken.
Yes, you notice they ran this play before, and Fall Creek didn't fall back on it. And this time they had him surrounded with 3 kids, and they were able to pick up the foul in the situation.
Kartoivos at the free throw line here with 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. 6'7" senior. And he makes the free throw. Foreign exchange student, Jan Kartoivos, gained about 20 pounds this year, and he's 2 for 2 in that set right there in free throw opportunities, and it's now 33-32 as Fall Creek has the lead and the basketball. And Coda has been a spark plug in the second half, wins it out, scramble for the rebound, and we have a foul called underneath, and it's going to be called against Schmidt.
Coda comes down, takes the transition basket, and you know Schmidt's behind and comes up over the back in the situation.
And Schmidt has 4 personal fouls, too. So, Paul, there are 3 big men inside. 1 is already fouled out, and 2 more with 4 fouls apiece. Second from the corner, Kartoivos with a rebound. 33-32, with 1:41 still remaining here in the third quarter. Glidden goes to Kartoivos, and they'll give it to Augustine. Augustine guarded by Fensky, try to go to Kartoivos. This is Coda working up court with Decken. Coda shot, and it's good. He's been a spark plug here in the second half with 6 points, Paul.
Yes, he is. And again, the basket's set up by their defense. You know, it's the hand in the passing lane, the steal, 1 pass, and they take the ball down the floor very quickly.
Mark Coda, who averages 16 points per ball game, and it's now a 3-point edge here. Glidden can cut that margin. Whistle at a foul called on Dennis Decken, one of the senior guards. And we're going to have Dwayne Decken checking back into the lineup.
This could be a factor because, you know, Glidden's still got the bonus situation, and, you know, they've got to hit those critical free throws, and, you know, they can stay with the game situation despite the fouls and still play good, hard defense with the kids they've got there.
Looking on the other side of the ledger, Dennis Decken now has 4 personal fouls. Kartoivos lost the rebound, but it's picked up and moved up court. Dennis with her Decken with a shot, no good on the rebound. As it's controlled by Glidden, 35-32.
You know, so it's a good decision. He pulled up and took the jumper. The defensive player got in there, and it was a good decision on his part to take the jump shot in that case.
Paul Augustine looking on there. Kartoivos tried to go underneath, and the Crickets come up with the loose ball, and Fensky will bring it across the timeline. Reach back to Fensky. Underneath they have Whitwer, and the guards, Decken and Coda out on the court. Coda plays all over, doesn't he, Paul?
Yes, he does. He's a real mover. He's really a nice high school basketball player, and he's small and he plays inside. You got to feel real good about a kid that'll do that.
5'10", 170-pound senior. He has the ball right now. The reach, cross court, and the pass to Fensky, tipped away, tipped in by Decken, cross court, reached the shot, and he hit it. And it's 37-32 at the end of the third quarter. And one of our network sponsors is the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin. Back at the UW field house, it's 37-32 as Fall Creek has battled back ball. And this fourth quarter should be an interesting one.
Yes, it should. I think one of the differences, as we said, Mark Coda has become a factor in the game now.
And the tip, and it's underway, and Dwayne Decken. Decken and Fensky will play the guards now. Coda at one of the forward spots. 5-point lead, 7:46 remaining. They're in the fourth quarter. Fensky, Dakota. They become very patient now, don't they, Paul? Looking for the good shot. They have the lead by 5.
Yes, they do. Even with Shook out of there, it's still a very big zone.
Coda in the corner. There's Decken. Rebound is pulled down by Glidden. They get an opportunity now to cut the lead. Pankratz pulled down the rebound. Augustine, the point guard, and it's tipped away. Turnover, and it's controlled by Whitworth. Whitworth to Coda, and they'll set it up once again with that 5-point lead.
You can't say it enough. Fall Creek just gets in those passing lanes real quick.
And we have traveling called against the Crickets. And on the turnover, Glidden will get the basketball. In the Indiana Head Conference champions, offensively, they're averaging 57, giving up 39 points a game. They have a school enrollment of about 94 students. I'll bet you every one of them are here, too.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible how many you're going to get in this kind of situation to show for games. And every alumni is going to be down here.
And there's a foul inside, and you hold your breath for a moment if you're a Glidden fan.
Foul is on number 24.
But it's going to go against Reitz and not against Kartoivel.
Okay, you got a good entry pass, and the Fall Creek player gets out of position just a little bit.
Kartoivel's, according to our stats, now has a total of 9 points. 5 coming here in the second half. And he's 3 for 4 from the free throw line. And the next one is up, and it's good also. So it's now 37-34. And the Crickets, against the pressure of Glidden, bring it half court. Fensky to Decken. He won't take the shot. Instead, he'll set it back to Reitz to Coda. Coda guarded by Kemp. And Fall Creek now looking at the clock as it shows 6:27 remaining. Fourth quarter, 37-34. Dwayne Decken going in the corner on the pass to Fensky. Back out to Kerry Reitz. Cross court to Decken. Decken to Coda. He's open. And he hits. According to our stats, he's now in double figures, and they have come up with 8 big points from Coda here in the second half. Mark Coda, he's really been part of the difference here, hasn't he, in the second half?
Yes, he has. But, you know, Glidden can't cover those corner shooters the way they did in the first half with the big kids coming out real hard.
There's a baseline move and a nice one by Schmidt for the basket. Kevin Schmidt getting 2 points. And it's now 39-36. And Fall Creek still leading by 3 points here. 5:38 remaining at regulation time. Reitz to Decken. Decken back to Coda. Cross court to Fensky. And Fall Creek looking for that good shot. They go to Coda. He just hit the last one. And we have a substitution coming back in. Dennis Decken is going to be checking back into the game here in just a moment. Reitz in the corner to Coda. Kartoivel, and he'll let him shoot and hit it. Coda gets the basket, and it's now 41-36. And Glidden's having a little problem with the pressure there, but they bring it across the timeline. They move it underneath, and a foul is going to be called. They're trying to get off the shot was Pankratz. And a foul is going to go against the Crickets. Mark Coda picking up the foul, and according to our stats, that would be number 2 on him.
Very good entry pass. They made the cut to the basket, and they came right through on the diagonal pass and, you know, drew the foul in that situation. I think one thing you have to look at is that Fall Creek made a very good run and took the lead, but now Glidden seems to have settled down a little bit and are starting to get themselves back in the game now. They haven't let that gap get any wider.
Mike Pankratz missing the free throw there. He's a junior. 4:51 remaining in the fourth quarter, and the next free throw no good. Kartoivels with a rebound and the shot, and it's pulled back by Whitwer. And Fall Creek here with the lead, 41-36, and the basketball tapped away from behind, but it'll be picked up by the Crickets. 4:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. 5-point lead here. First game of the day. A lot more coming your way here in the 70th annual WIAA State Boys Basketball Tournament. The two Decken brothers are now back at the guard spots. That is Cota with the basketball, number 32. Reitz is number 24, trying to go inside. There's a shot by Cota, tipped around, and Glidden with the rebound as it's picked off by Smith. 5-point lead, and they can cut the deficit partly here with a basket. Smith trying to go baseline, couldn't get inside, and did put up the shot, and whoa, he got the roll there.
It's an important basket for Glidden. You know, they want to keep the momentum that they've got going.
And we have a foul called against Glidden with 4:02 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And the foul is going to go up against Augustine, and for him, it is his second personal, I believe. We'll wait for the official stat. Yes, it is his second. And Cota will go to the free throw line. And he didn't get the roll, and Kartoivels with a rebound, and they set it up again. Glidden now, trailing only by 3 points. Augustine baseline to Schmidt. Schmidt tried to pick up the rebound. He may have fouled him from the back. We'll have to wait and see. And he did. He fouled him from the back. And he is out of the basketball game with 5 personal fouls.
Again, now, he's right on the man's back, and this is a real critical point because, you know, they've lost 2 of their big inside players.
And it's a 41-38 game, and one of our network sponsors is the Rural Companies, ensuring the good life in Wisconsin. Your WIAA network hosts for the coverage of these state final games are Land O'Lakes, John Deere, the Rural Companies, and the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin. They hope you're enjoying the action, and there's more this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow as we crown the 1985 Wisconsin High School Basketball Champions. And the free throw by Cota is up and good. According to our stats, now with a total of 13 points. And he has had a marvelous second half. He had 1 basket at the end of the first half. And the next free throw attempt is good also. So it's now 43-38 game. And Paul, do you go now to Kartoivels, despite the fact that he's got 4?
Yes, I think you got to give him the ball on the block and make Fall Creek play him. And
the shot there, no good. The rebound is pulled down and reached. And there's a fast break trying to pick it up. Nice save. Decken in the lane. And whistle, and it's going to be awarded to Glidden as it went off Fall Creek there. Did I cut you off in midstream on a thought there, Paul, going the other way?
No, we're okay there. I think they've got to get the ball down on the block and make them play Kartoivels honestly. You know, right in there when he's posted up and open, he's got to get the ball.
3 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in regulation time. It's 43-38, and a shot from outside, no good. And it's controlled by Cota. Cota and Dwayne Decken, as well as Dennis Decken out of the court now. They have Whitwer and Reitz out as well. That is Dennis Decken with a shot. His first 2 of the basketball game. 45-38, starting to pull away now.
Yes, sir. You know, it's one thing about Fall Creek. They don't care who they post up inside. Everybody in their motion gets to get down inside there.
And Kartoivels is fouled as he tried to go to the basket, got it on the arm. So he'll go to the free throw line now. And 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining as you get a look at the foul ball.
Okay, here they get the ball inside. You notice the weak side player is right there where he's supposed to be, you know, and he picked up the foul this time, but they're still playing good defense.
Coda's third personal. And Hartoivel with the free throw opportunity, making it there. He's 5 of 6 from the free throw line. He has total 11 points. And that one is no good. Of the rebound is controlled by Whitler. And we'll give it to Coda, and he'll set it up now with 2:34 remaining in the fourth quarter. Dennis Decken to Reitz. Reitz cross towards the Decken. Back to his brother. And we're down now to 2:17 remaining. 45-39. And it goes out of bounds as the turnover to the Crickets. 6-point lead with 2:12 left.
Fall Creek has established one thing. They took a little time off the clock there. They're going to make Glidden come out and play them real hard, and they can control the game if they don't.
And trying to go baseline up with a shot. No basket, but a foul call underneath.
Okay, beats him on the baseline, gets around him, and Coda comes over there and establishes some body contact and puts him at the line, and that's 4 on Mark Coda.
And going to the free throw line shooting, Mike Pankratz. And the free throw is up, and it's good. And it's 45-40 with 2:01 left. And the next one's up and good also. Got a game on our hands here.
Oh, yeah. Nobody's going to lay down on this one, and they're going to come at him hard. And they may make Fall Creek shoot some free throws here pretty quick.
And it's set up now as into the basketball game. Trying to move inside. A whistle with a foul will be called. And it's on Fensky. Pardon me, Fensky. Kemp picked up the foul, and Fensky, number 20, will go to Coda to the line. And the free throw is good. Four for 5 from the free throw line. 46-41 now. As Kemp on the foul here and sending Coda to the line, and he converts there 2 in a row.
It's become real big possessions now for Glidden. They've got to get the ball in good scoring situations. They've got to score quick.
47-41. And Decken trying and did. Nice play there.
Dennis Decken got out in that passing lane again and forced the turnover.
And the 47-41 now as it's set up by the Crickets. They lead in the basketball game by 6 points. And Decken off on the pass. Glidden is down by a total of 6. Dakota back to Decken. Taking their time now. Whitworth trying to go underneath. Tipped out of bounds, and it goes to Glidden.
You know, if each time, twice in a row now, or another time they did that, and they're now waiting for him to square up and come to the ball.
1:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. 47-41. Glidden down by 6, but they have the basketball, and they could cut it here. Shot from outside, and it was no good as Newberger fired it. And the Crickets get the rebound, and Coda is guarded very closely there by Kemp. And he brings it across the timeline. Clock showing 55 seconds remaining.
Get a situation here where you're probably going to see him spread the floor, use the clock a little more. The clock becomes Glidden's worst enemy right now.
Would you foul him right away, Paul?
In 45 seconds, you've got to get the ball back, and if that's the only way to do it, then you've got to do it going for the ball.
There is a...
Okay, now, here you have it, what essentially becomes an illegal screen in that situation. You ran into him and used his hands to push off.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a very reasonable call.
And Coda will come out of the basketball game because he has committed his 5th personal foul. But according to our stats, we have him with 17 points. And you're going to look at what Paul was just talking about there.
Okay, now, with Coda leaving, it takes one thing away from Fall Creek, and that takes a very, very good free throw shooter out of the game.
And Augustine is at the line, and he makes it. That's his 3rd point of the game. 47-42. And still 39 seconds remaining.
Right, because you're just a turnover or two away from a game tightening up very, very quickly.
And the next one is up and good. 2 critical free throws there. Fall Creek Crickets will inbounds the ball. 47-43, and it's going to go to Fall Creek. As Glidden now with full court pressure here. And they inbounds it. It comes to Decken. Decken with the basketball. Looking for the outlet on the pass, and he got it to half court. And it's deflected by Kartoibel. And 28 seconds remaining, 47-43. Going back in a hurry, trying to set it up. They try to go to Kartoibel. She gets the basket. Will it count? And the basket's going to count. So an opportunity for a three-point play at 47-45. A timeout, and one of our network sponsors is John Deere, and your local John Deere dealer.
Timeout. Glidden.
We have 20 seconds remaining in regulation time. It's 47-45. And Kartoibel's at the free throw line, and he hits it.
Now, they've got to get the ball back right away. They may have to foul just as the ball comes in or even before it comes in.
And there's the foul that Paul was just talking about. And it's whistled against Newberger. And it's going to send Decken to the free throw line.
The important thing is here, he did it going at a defensive situation. It was not an intentional foul, so you end up with a 1-and-1 situation.
47-46. As Dennis Decken will go to the free throw line. And a timeout has been called. It's 47-46. And one of our network sponsors is your Cooperative and Land of Lakes. Back at the UW Fieldhouse, where it's 47-46. And at the free throw line is Dennis Decken. And the free throw very calmly puts it away, Paul.
Yes, he did. I was thinking this could hurt him with not having Mark Cota in the game because he shot most of the free throws in the second half, and Dennis stood up there and put it right in.
He could stretch it to 3, and he does. It's now 49-46 with 18 seconds remaining in regulation time, and Augustine cross-caps court, and he calls timeout. So now, Paul, you got a situation. What would you... Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a break here. Now it's 49-46, and we'll be back in just a minute. .46, the ball will be inbounds, and 18 seconds when we took it in. And trying to tap it loose, and Fall Creek comes up with it, and a foul is going to be called on Newberger. Paul, you had a point about timeouts that you wanted to make. Glidden had taken their last timeout right before the action right there.
Yes, in that situation, I usually like to bring the ball down, get the best shot possible. Then you can use that timeout to stop the clock. With 15 seconds, if there's less than 5, then Fall Creek doesn't even have to bring the ball in bounds. And you don't have that timeout to stop the clock and use it then.
So you have 8 seconds left now at a 3-point lead, and it's now 4 as Reach makes the free throw. Well, their girls won the championship. The guys won the championship last year. And it looks like they're going to be in the championship game once again, and they're clearing the benches. So the coaches know right now that it's out of reach.
Yeah, both teams played hard, and, you know, Glidden got in some foul situations that I'm sure changed their game plan considerably, and Fall Creek just never stopped coming at them.
Last year's Class C champions, football, volleyball, girls basketball, boys basketball. They've not lost a conference game this year. Their winning percentage of all teams in the districts is .842, and it's 51-46 here. You talk about an outstanding tradition. And we've come to the end of it here in 2 more seconds. There's a shot at the buzzer, and will the basket come? As Ader hit it at the buzzer, but it's a 51-48 final, and Fall Creek moves on to the championship game in Class C.
It's a very very disappointing time for Glidden, and, you know, they're going to look back, and it's a great chance to be here, and Fall Creek played very, very well and a lot of good pressure defense.
Where was the turning point in your mind, Paul?
Well, there are a couple situations where Glidden had cut it down to 4, and they had the ball 2 occasions and were not able to score. And then I think Schmidt fouling out was really an important factor for them. You know, Shook had been out for a while, but Schmidt was doing the job on the boards, and he was scoring some points for them. And when he went out, I think that really hurt him.
And Shook also fouling out, so they did have the foul problems inside. And I tell you what, right now, the winning coach, Ron Schultz, in his 21st year, is waiting to talk with Jack Ike. Jack?
Okay, Ron, congratulations. Never a dull moment.
Oh, boy, just got to give the kids credit there. They fought back from being down 8, and they fought against that heist. Of course, we tried to get the ball inside there when they got a little foul trouble, and they helped us out in that manner. But the big boys sure hung in there, and they were right there to the end.
Did you want to see if you could get him in foul trouble to take away the heist?
Well, from all the scouting reports said that the big one would be in foul trouble. The other one was, and I was quite surprised when the other one was in foul trouble. Then we kind of said, let's go inside and see what he does.
Now, Mark Cota seemed to find the shooting touch from the outside second half.
At the end, it's a good thing. We only shot 24% in the first half. We figured, you know, if they were in foul trouble, if we were really close, we were sitting good, but we weren't very close. So we really had to fight back. The kids deserve a lot of credit.
1-point lead going down to the final 20 seconds. Were you glad you put those 2 guys on the free throw line?
Yeah, Cota and Dennis would probably be the best 2 for us to have at the line. Of course, Reed stepped up there and made 2 at the end with no problem.
Well, we'll see you in another Class C title game tomorrow, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We'll pause for a quick timeout.
Back at the UW Fieldhouse, we're in this Class C semifinal. Fall Creek has now extended their record on the season to 25-1. Glidden winds up the year with a record of 23-1. Certainly nothing to be ashamed of. They've had a fabulous season. Down here today, running into a little foul problem.
Yes, they did. Glidden played very well. They played good defense. They caused a lot of problems for Fall Creek early in the game. And then the foul situation took some of that defensive pressure off. And some of the foul problems were caused by the speed and quickness that Fall Creek was able to use inside.
However, on the other side, Fall Creek, they just continue to roll on and win and win and win. And what a tradition they have going there now.
Yes, they do. They've got a very, very good program. They're well coached, and their kids play hard all the time. One thing I noticed in the game was early in the first half, you did not get much transition offense out of Fall Creek, and in the second half, you can see where they got the transition going, and they scored several points off it on layups.
And taking a look at the individual scoring, they're unofficial stats, but I guess if you're going to talk about Fall Creek, you got to talk about Cota and the difference that he made in the second half.
They moved up.
But he came up with unofficially 17 points.
Yes, I think he had 3 at halftime, and he kind of took over the game.
Okay, that's about it as far as this final is concerned. 51-48, the final score here, and we'll have a Class C semifinal coming up. But right now, Jack Ike is standing by with a special guest.